Hi folks, James Spiro from CTech here, and this is the first episode of the live log breaking down what's happening between Israel and Iran. Those who have been following the news recently are aware that Iran and Israel are fighting. Now, it's a very, very unpleasant situation with rockets being fired in both directions, civilians are dying, places are being destroyed, and it's quite a scary moment here in Israel for our people and for our nation and for its history. What we'd like to do at CTech is do some form of roundup each day and just bring you the news as it's coming out of Israel. Now, there's news everywhere, all over the place. We totally get that. But we think that we can really add some value as an English-speaking native Israel news site. Now, those of us or those of you who follow CTech, know that a lot of our work that we do is related to tech and Startup Nation. One of the things about tech is that it can be seen through many different eyes. So there's tech surrounding things like the pandemic, there's tech surrounding things like diaspora issues, that's issues for Jews outside of Israel. And now there's issues surrounding tech in war. Now, we've had it for about 600 days since the October 7 attack in 2023, but this era with Iran is really taking on this newfound purpose that Israel is finding itself having to take on and the fights that it has to fight. So what I want to do is, if you see me looking this side, it's only because I'm going to be reading from the roundup that we build each day. We hope to publish these each morning, American Eastern time. So that's late in the afternoon here in Israel. So hopefully we have a good roundup of stories, which we can share with you at the start of the days in America or middle of the day in Europe and the end of the day here in Israel. So what we actually started off reporting on this morning was that 184 partners from the Israeli law firm Meitar are currently stranded in Africa. Um, those who are following the flight plans know that Israel has been, or Ben Gurion Airport has been completely shut down. No flights in, no flights out. It means that tens of thousands of Israelis are stuck overseas, and many, many thousands of tourists are actually stuck here, unable to get home. It's kind of like Israel is experiencing its own COVID era lockdown, flight restrictions all over again, half a decade later. So 184 partners from Meitar are stranded in an it doesn't say specifically which country, but it's a country in Africa. They also, because it was some form of Yom Kef, that's kind of like a cool day, like a company trip. All of their spouses were also overseas. So bit of a problem there with how they're going to be getting home. No one quite knows what's going to happen there. But what I can tell you is that the Meitar law firm will be operating pretty remotely for the next coming days or weeks. The next story related to the direct cost of the war. Now, this is before you consider any external costs, any impact that the war is going to have on Israel's GDP. It's been estimated that the direct cost of the war so far, that's 2 days in, approximately 5.5 billion shekels. That's about $1.5 billion. Um, they say that half of those expenses are going towards defense issues and the other half are going to offense issues. So defense, offense, split halfway. The costs are not estimating direct costs, as I said, that are including damage to the TGP and any other issues that may come up in the following hours or days. Um, there's been chatter online. Obviously, this bleeds into the online space. Everyone always says Twitter isn't real life or X isn't real life, but I think time and time again we're being shown that what happens on X does have real world consequences. So personally, I believe that what happens on X is real life. Bill Ackman, the prominent investor who's invested in the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange soon after October 7 started, he's urging Trump to help destroy the Iranian nuclear program. He's calling on the American president to get involved. Now, obviously, those who are familiar with Donald Trump and his MAGA platform know that he prides himself on being the anti-war president. He never, in his first term, he never entered a new war. He never grew presence in his wars, and he really took that message to his second campaign in 2024. So he is in a difficult position now because he has to honor the MAGA base of his party that like the fact that he doesn't enter any foreign wars, with the fact that Israel is the number one ally in the region, one of the most strongest allies in the world. And so he'll have to reckon with that about whether or not American troops are now going to be getting involved in yet another foreign war in their minds. Speaking of the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange, um, funnily enough, it's on the rise and stabilizing. You'd think that many countries that go through moments of war or pandemics or uncertainty would see drastic changes in the values of the stock market. We saw it actually in America with Trump's tariffs on Freedom Day or Tariff Day. I can't remember what it was in April. But we're not seeing that here in Tel Aviv. We're seeing the stock exchange is still in the green, which is good to know. I've got some numbers here. Um, yeah, Tel Aviv and 125 are up 0.8%. Government bonds have erased almost all declines. And all parameters, this is a quote, all parameters point to resilience, rationality, and continued confidence in the Israeli capital market. That's from the VP of Trading at the Israel Stock Exchange. So amazingly, we're in day 2 or 3 of war now and of new war, and we're still in the green for the stock exchange, which is fantastic. As for public transportation across the country, Israel Railways operates only 3 lines across Jerusalem and the airport and Herzliya, Beersheba, Ashkelon, Herzliya. So a lot of trains aren't running in their normal ways. Bus companies operate only essential lines. That means to hospitals and military bases. And the light rail is not operating in Jerusalem. Light rail in Tel Aviv is still being built, so it's also not operating. And it's a problem because due to the lack of public transportation, a lot of carers actually can't reach the elderly and those who need care and those who rely on public transportation to get care for the elderly. So big problem. Um, Schools are going online. The Weizmann Institute, which was hit in one of the rockets. It reported damage to buildings, but without injuries. That's been closed. They are postponing exams for its students and running remote learning. So we're truly back in the COVID era here in Israel. What with the staying at home and remote learning um, restrictions. And finally, last piece of news. Radware, a cybersecurity company, has reported a 700% jump in cybersecurity attacks against Israel only since June 12. So that's in the last 3 days. They call it an unprecedented wave of malicious network activity targeting Israeli infrastructure. So, you know, the physical fight that Israel is facing is only part of the battle. A lot of the battles now take place online. It's a lot of malicious activity, phishing, spyware, hacks. So Israel is facing a war on many fronts, not just militarily, but also technologically. And CTech is going to keep reporting on these issues as they go on, hopefully not for too long. Hopefully you won't be seeing too much of me, because we hope to put this Roundup series to an end because we hope the fighting ends. But in the meantime, you can rely on us at CTech and me here, James, to bring you all of the roundup of the news so you can end your day where you are with us, or you can start your day where you are with us. So that's it from me. I'm James Spiro from CTech, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.